sudden reversal of fortunes for the oil-producing countries. In the Gulf states, you have quite a few bubbles popping. Dubai was one of probably the biggest real estate bubble in the world, and it's now bursting. However, it's not all bad news, because the major oil-producing countries have been the enemies of the prevailing world order: Venezuela, Iran, Russia. And it's not so easy to finance a Bolivarian revolution with $40 oil. So I think Venezuela is Chavez, probably his days are numbered. And in Iran, I think that he's not going to last a year. I may be wrong, but I mean, he's under considerable duress, and his influence is going to decline. In Iran, Ahmadinejad is up for elections in 2009, and unless he can provoke some incident, or I think that he's liable to also be defeated, and you may have a more reasonable regime with whom you can. Now, Russia is more troubling, because there, you see, Putin has been using oil for a number of reasons to reestablish Russia's geopolitical influence, to enrich the rulers, to maintain themselves in power, and to bribe the rulers of the neighboring countries to gain control over their gas. But through the success, he was very popular, and
not so easy now.
Now, suddenly you have had a financial collapse, inflation, ruble falling, living standards falling, and there is a danger that he will be more adventurous, trying to have some foreign adventure, Ukraine, whatever, to divert attention.
I'm afraid we have to end it there. George Soros, I'd like to thank you very much. We didn't get to China, but we heard lots about Russia. That is George Soros.
Now remember, Lindsey Williams, months before they snuck attack Russian-controlled territory in Georgia, held since the early 90s, historically part of Russia, he said they're also going to start stuff with Russia. No one was even talking about that. That just came out of the clear blue one morning, but Lindsey was right. I played that Lindsey Williams because I wanted to, have you be able to comment before we get into the latest developments on why do you think the elite are now basically admitting everything that you were saying, but you said it before it was even announced or it even happened.
Well, Alex, you have to understand, I'm just an ordinary everyday guy that puts on my britches just like every other man every morning. But by the providence of God, numbers of years ago, I had the privilege of living with the elite of the world for 3 years. As a result, I've kept in touch with some of them, and they have kept in touch with me sometimes over these past 35 years. They knew in advance. Alex, folks, I plead with you, everybody out in this audience today, I beg of you, please listen and believe every word Alex Jones is saying. He has tried to tell you for years that there is a group of elite, and let me say as emphatically as I humanly possibly can, there positively is a group of people on the face of this earth who control the world, and they knew a year to 2 years ago everything that's taking place in the financial world right now. They knew they were going to take the price of crude oil from $147 a barrel to $50 a barrel. It was all planned in advance. This is not something that just happened out of a clear blue sky. I don't know whether George Soros knew it back then or not, but I know that 7 months ago I was told it by one of these individuals who knows everything that goes on behind closed doors. So let me show you exactly what has happened in the past 7 days, 7 to 9 days maybe. Okay, first of all, Dubai. Last weekend, and George Soros just mentioned that. I'm so glad you played that, Alex. Thank you. Last weekend, Dubai, of all things, one of the OPEC oil-producing countries of the world, building that beautiful 5-star city, Dubai borrowed last weekend $10 billion on 5-year unsecured bonds. And they say that within another week's time, they're going to have to borrow another $10 billion. They have canceled their concrete contract. with an American company that was supplying the concrete for that beautiful five-star city, and sitting on the airport parking lot in Dubai City today are approximately 3,000 abandoned automobiles. Why? You see, in Dubai, if you don't make your automobile payment, oh, yes, they did. These workers went from around the world to Dubai to make their fortune, building that beautiful five-star city that there's never been anything like it on the face of the earth. They bought Mercedes, they bought Rolls Royces. But in Dubai, if you don't make your automobile payment or your house payment, they don't just come and get the automobile or the house. They come and get you. And these people lost their jobs. Dubai has closed down. It has ground to a halt. The skyscrapers aren't being built. The concrete's not being delivered. They don't have any more money. They're out. They've had to borrow. All because they've lost 75% of their income on every barrel of oil, and they've done it within 4 months' time.
Now, Lindsey, we covered that when you were on with us, because I want to get into the new developments and go back to what this elitist former oil company had told you the globalists were planning. It dovetails with our intel, because it's now all of it is unfolding, and how you see this unfolding, how bad it's going to get, how bad he told you that it was going to get. But clearly, they get the world overextended in these debt bubbles. Then they blow out the oil, they blow out the stock market for a global consolidation so they can consolidate things. Is that not what you were told?
Yes, that's exactly what he said. He said America will see a financial crisis that will be so great that it will take years to come out of it. He said that Russia was going to be made a great empire again. They'll have to break them first and control them. He also mentioned other countries of the world and what would happen to them. Let me point out what happened this past weekend. Latvia government collapsed. Yes. Yeah, Latvia doesn't have natural resources, so it became a financial center. It has totally collapsed. The Ukraine, if you went to the bank in the Ukraine, you live there, you could not pull money out. They will not allow anyone to take cash out of the bank in the Ukraine. Iceland, as you remember, collapsed a while back. All of these, Hungary's foreign fell to an all-time low on Monday. Poland's zloty slumped to the lowest in 5 years. This is a worldwide situation that they basically are going to bring in the control of the whole world. East and Central Europe has been supported by Germany as of this past, 2 days ago.
And by the way, they're now announcing world government and all the news as a savior, ruled by banks, and a new bank of the world that will pay carbon taxes to, exactly what you said they were going to do. This is the foretold coming of the one world government. It is now happening.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. And now let's go to the United States of America. How is this affecting us? First of all, he said to me 7 months ago, and Alex, you granted me the privilege of breaking this news on your show for the first time on July the 28th, and he said America will see a financial collapse so great that it will take years to come out of it. Now, let me point out what happened just this past week. Corporate profits report on this Monday. Macy's profits were down 59%. Target, yeah, a lot of you do business there from time to time. 41% down on profit report. JCPenney, 41%. Office Depot lost $1.5 billion. Imagine how this is going to affect the tax structure of the federal and state government within 60 to 90 days.
And the crime rate's exploding, and they're openly announcing they're getting ready for martial law. Please continue.
Yes, AIG, largest insurance company in the world, I guess it is, reported the biggest quarterly loss ever in U.S. financial history.
Close to $70 billion in one quarter. It's lost over $100 billion in the last year.
Yes, we bailed them out to $120 billion, and now they are going back for another $60 billion. And let me put it this way. In 1975, a person could buy all of the real estate in America, all of the shopping malls in America, all of the hotels in America, all of the land in the United States of America could have been bought in 1975 for what the government of the United States of America has spent in the past 90 days. I mean, folks, this is so startling. It shatters the thinking of a person almost. Citigroup has borrowed $40 billion from the U.S. Treasury, yet it's only worth $13 billion. You realize that your great-great-grandchildren are going to be responsible for this indebtedness of the outlandish things that are being done right now. A Saudi Arabian prince had invested hundreds of billions of dollars into Citibank. He's going broke. I mean, he literally is on the verge of wondering. This man told me, he said the oil-producing countries, OPEC, they are doing this for the purpose of bringing them to bankruptcy, and every bit of it is exactly what you've been saying all of these times, these years, Alex. It's coming to pass right before our eyes.
And soon the riots and the martial law and the FEMA camps, unless we go completely wild, warning people as watchmen on the wall. I believe that if we expose this, at least here in the United States and a few other pockets, because we do have the Second Amendment, they may not bring in the full martial law here as they're doing all over the world right now.
Well, let me come down to where we are at this past weekend. I'm going to give a place. I'm going to give a name. I have permission to do this. Campo, Colorado, southeastern Colorado, northern Texas. 40%.